Hello, everyone. This is Thursday, the 29th of December. So we're in the last couple days of December 2016. It's currently 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And good morning or good afternoon, depending on when you're watching the stream. Um, and today, you're looking at a couple trades on the pound Japanese yen. Uh, and I'll talk about those in just a second. What I wanted to go over was the trade that I had over on the odd USD. Now, I actually put this trade pretty well. As you can see, the entry here with the trend continuation down, and then I took profit right about in this area. It was right near the 71,700 level. The reason why I took my profit here was I saw the bullish candle here at the support. It's the support level of 7170, and then I saw the bullish candle after as well. That wasn't the only reason. I saw that the USD was starting to make a recovery also on the euro with dollar. The UJ was flat, and I also saw the pound USD also looking like it could have a pullback there as well. I decided to take my profit. I lost a few pips in here, taking my profit a little later just to see how the price action behaved there. But I was fine with it, and then you can see from my exit, it did move up from that point. Since then, we have been looking at this level as a resistance level, and with the potential for tender continuation and hitting this level again. So I ended up taking on that position about 33 pips. Not bad. Okay, so since then, I actually took a trade on the a long position on the pound Japanese yen. Now I saw the level here was hit and acted as a support level, then support level here, and then it hit that same level again. Okay, um, hold on a second. Looks like we have some comments coming in on some of my other videos on YouTube that I'll respond to a bit later. Um, so yeah, so this level here, level, and then I was thinking that there would be a potential bounce again here. I saw that there was a new high that was pushed here, that was broken on this level, new high, and with the potential for this to bounce and continue to break up. Um, and it didn't happen. Pushed down lower, and I entered another trade at the 143, near the 143 whole number. And with some decent reaction to the level, but it wasn't strong enough. There was a little bit of a bounce there, not enough for me to get out of the position. Now you can see where my take profit is. It's just above my original position. My risk level is where it should be, or pretty close to, at 0.05 lots. Now the next trade I take may be a little bit higher. I might take a risk of 0. Actually, I might take a risk of 0.1 on the next trade and stay that level. I would be a little bit concerned about my margin at that time. It will be a decision that I'll make at the once that time comes, or if it does. If I do raise the risk to 0.1, then I will stay at that level for the rest of my entries until I'm either stopped out or I hit profit. What I'm seeing here is my entry It did go lower, push lower. It did find a little bit of support here, but the current candle is looking like it could continue back down again. So I might have to wait this out longer. Current candle still has about 40 minutes left. It's right now and it's inside candle, a bearish inside candle. We'll have to see if it continues to hold like that. Um, I would guess that I'm probably gonna have to wait till at least the end of the week, or maybe into next week to get this trade pulled out um, in profit. Now, I'm not going to look for much. The more positions I have in, so I have two in right now. So if I have three or four or five, then the less profit I look for, because at that point the trade's not looking great, and at that point I'm just trying to get out of it at break even or profit to protect and small profit to protect my account. So I'll just have to wait and see. So currently we're at minus 48, $50. Um, so just over 1% of the account. Not too bad. But since I'm at 1% negative already on the count, I'm not really sure if I'm going to jump up to the zero point 0.1 because it might overextend my account too much, and I don't want to do that. All right. Okay. So no questions coming in right now. It's glad to see a few of you watching the stream live, and so we'll move on to the Euro US dollar and some of the majors to see what's happening here. Now I still have my positions marked from when I exited them, and the 1.05 level. Now that you guys, that level is pretty strong. That should be a gauge for where the euro is going. If that level is broken with the closed candle above it, then we could see a continued push on the upside. Until then, I believe that it will continue to be on the downside. So as long as this level is not broken, I would say only take short positions. Now I believe that Tony D on forexsignals.com is actually taking a short position here, or somewhere in here. Um, I haven't seen any good candles showing me that this is a good level to enter on the short side, uh, but at least any single candle reversal points. But what you can see here is the push up, and you can see there is a failed uh, push here and here. And it did start to push down, and then it shot back up, and then it started pushing it down again. So there's a little insecurity in here, just from the multiple candlesticks showing us that there is a potential reversal point forming here, and in a continuation. Now this could be a decent area for a short position on the downside. It's hard to say. There is not any real indication besides the level up here. The 145 or 47 level has shown a lot of support in the past. There's also that 1.05 up here too. Um, and so this could be a decent level to enter a trade. And then if it does continue to ride up and go against you, maybe another level here, depending on how the price action looks. So definitely Euro US dollar on the short side. Maybe not the best for an entry right now, although it could be a decent entry at this point for continuation down. Now the reason why I'm skeptical about this is because there's not a lot of volatility right now. There's not a lot of news. And so I'm not sure if I would take any trades at all. If I did, definitely on the short side. Okay, the pound USD. Now we have had a little bit of a recovery on the pound USD. We did have a reversal candle here with the continued push back down right now. The push down is slowing down. It's slowing though. We did have this move here. It's the same move that happened on the Euro US dollar too. So this move here. It is slowing, but because there's a lack of news, if the USD strength continues, then the pound should go on the downside. Um, and this could have been a good place here for an entry. and I wasn't awake for that. It's a good reversal candle, break of the previous open candle, a new high, break at the high of the previous candle, and the candle before that. The close of the actual candle was a good solid close. So this candle is a good indication for a trend continuation on the downside. Low volatility right now, so keep that in mind. And the entry now, if you did decide to enter now, it would be a little too late, I think. You would have already missed out on a good 20, 18 to 20 pips. I'm looking at you, what you're saying, EU. Hold on. I don't see how my entries could be really risky. They're not too risky right now. I still have a lot of margin. The margin level's high, um, and my entries were based on the trend actually on the longer time frame. So let's talk about this a little bit more. So we're looking in the 4 hour. Now the pound USD has been on the downside, but the because of the Japanese yen has been suffering a bit or quite a lot since November. That's why I took this position. I took it at this level because I saw it was a pretty decent level for support, and I think it could still change here. Now, if this level is broken, I probably will wait some time before I enter again. My next level that I'm looking at is here at the 140.15 level. So that's good 130 pips. So if this does go against me here and continues down, I will wait probably a good 100 or 130 pips before re-entering another position. Um, and so this is a trade that's taken with the trend. This is not a counter trend for some of you guys that know that I have taken some counter trend trades in the past. Um, and actually, I'm not too disappointed with my two entries here. Entry one and entry two. Those are, to me, are pretty good levels. And then my entry three will probably be around here, unless I see a candle that's showing me otherwise. What makes me pretty happy about the current price action is on the 4 hour, I'm actually getting an inside candle right now. Uh, so this inside candle, so what we're looking at is the push extend down here, the flag candle, the bearish candle here, followed by a bullish inside candle right after that, and two wicks on these two candles showing us a failed push down, and people are wanting to hold at this level, um, and we could easily see a bounce or a pullback at this point. Um, and so that's what I'm looking at, taking the trade with the bigger time frame. I don't like using the word trend because um, trends are always seen in later after the fact. So I'm taking this based on the 4 hour market and how it's been moving. Now we have seen more of a push down here against that trend, but this level is pretty solid and it could hold if we're looking at inside candle, and from that point we could see a continued push up. So I hope that explains a little bit more about why I took that position. Uh, I disagree with you. Grid trading is actually safer, in my opinion, uh, than um, than standard stop loss positions. Um, I still have a stop loss. It's based on percentage, but grid trading allows you to get out or fix or correct a bad trade. Now, after a second entry comes in, so entry two, that means that this has turned into not a great trade, because a great trade would mean one entry goes into profit and I'm out. But when I have two entries, the trade starts to turn a little bit more south. And that means at that point, I'm trying to correct the position and trying to get out of the trade and profit by entering at another location that could show uh, a further pullback or get me out of the position. So I'm being very picky with where I re-enter my positions in the hopes that I can get out. Thanks for the good luck wishes. Uh, and you'll see that most of the successful traders that trade the forex grid trade in some form. Um, I mean, if you're looking at forexsignals.com, you'll see that Steady Capture does some grid trading. You'll see that Viper, previous forexsignals.com, also did grid trading. You'll see Gold Star, also grid trading. Most of the successful traders grid trade. Why? Is because it's really difficult to do stop loss trading because yes, you do have a predefined risk management, but it gets a lot more tricky because it is fitting into a cookie cutter mold um, where you have a stop loss of say 50 pips and a take profit of 150. The problem is the larger your take profit is, the harder it is to achieve. So the chances of that stop loss getting hit, because it's smaller, in pip amount and in pip size, it's smaller. Your chances of that getting hit are more likely than the profit of 150 pips getting hit because it's 3 times larger. And statistically, that's accurate, and you'll come across that a lot more often. But the idea is that if your take profit is larger than your stop loss, then that means that you can have 2 stop losses uh, to a profit. 2 stop losses. If you had 2 stop losses in a row, that would be a loss of 100 pips, right? One stop loss of 50 pips, and then a second one of 50 pips. And if you had hit a take profit on another trade of 150, that means that you still profited 50 pips overall. Um, and that's really quite risky because that means that uh, you could have streams of losses potentially because that your stop loss is lower. And those stream of losses can be quite substantial. And it's one of the reasons why I stopped doing stop loss trading in general, because it's really difficult to work with them because they are not flexible. You can change your stop loss amount, um, but you can't correct them very well, like you can with grid trading. That's one of the reasons why I use it. I just find there's a lot more flexibility in grid trading overall. All right, so I hope that answers your question. Okay, so uh, not a whole lot to talk about. I think I'll just want to spend the next 5 minutes talking about my EA. Since there was a trader that was looking at that and asking about maybe you can show some more results on the EA. I don't like to use the stream as a means of advertising or selling an EA or the EA that I am on eBay. Um, I like to use this stream as just pretty much strictly analysis for the market, so to tell you what trades I'm taking and what trades I recommend, and maybe which ones that you should be taking as well. Um, so this will be something that I don't do very often, but in this stream in the next 5 or 10 minutes, I'll go over that. All right. So here is the current EA. We have 5 trades in. Just had one enter recently. And it's looking for 50 pips amongst all 5 positions. So 50 pips total. So that means that the bottom 2 orders will likely be closed in loss, and then the top 3 will be closed in profit once this pushes back down. All right. So that's what the EA looks for. I don't want to go into the details of when it takes its positions, but you should know that over level 70, it takes short positions. So you can see here. And under 30, it will take only long positions. Now, the EA, now I've been messing with some of the results, having some stop losses involved, but the EA is actually pretty flexible. Right now I have it on a grid of 20 pips, and I have a loss percent of 50%. I'm going to take that off, and my profit pips, typically 50. I just was running a test at 10. And this test is running on the Euro Pound, running from 2000 to 2016. Now you'll be able to see the results. It will go through it pretty slowly. Takes about 20 minutes or so to finish the entire test. We're running it at on just a $500 account, um, at the lowest minimum risk setting, or the highest risk setting on this account size. So we'll let that run in the background. Now, you guys might be asking, why this EA? Why is it so good? Well, it grid trades. This is some of the worst times that it will happen, that it will hit, uh, where it enters a trade and it continues to try to enter and find that pullback in the market. And obviously that didn't happen until down here when it started pushing up. We started finally getting recovery. Now you see that all the positions close at the same time at this point. So the bottom orders are closed out in more profit than the top orders in loss. And that's how we come out with an overall 50 pips profit from from all these orders. Now that took a long time, a long while, a total of about half a month for all these trades to close out. But they did close out at a 50 pips profit overall. Now that's not a ton over a month, but it did get us out of a sticky situation here, where we could have closed out in a loss on the account. It would have been a little bit unfortunate. But you'll also have times like this, where you have just 2 trades here, 3 here, 1 here, you had 5 positions here, 3 here, and they all closed out in profit pretty quickly. So you'll have times like that the market's going in our favor really well. 2 trades, 1 trade, 1 trade, 2, 1, and then we had a few trades here, and then 1 here, a larger position here on the downside, and then the recovery. So why this pair? This pair is one of the best pairs for ranging, the euro pound. It gets pulled from the euro and the pound quite a bit because they both can be pretty volatile. Uh, and uh, and so that's why we get a lot of the ranging market. And I've tested on this pair a lot over the last since '94, so I can run back tests since 1994. Um, and since I haven't showed any back tests from '94, I think I'm going to do that now. Now I go back to 1990 because it doesn't allow me to go past that. For some reason, OANDA doesn't have any data since before 1994, and that just might be the earliest time, or 1993, 919 is the furthest that we can go back. And you can see that the EA is still working just fine since that time. Now, my tests that I show online start in 2000, but this EA has never lost since since OANDA has been pulling data in 1993 to current date. So we're talking about 20, um, 23 years, 24 years almost of time that it's been running. So I'll keep that running in the background. Okay, so what about Euro US dollar? Sure, Salem, I can talk about that real briefly. The Euro US dollar, I mentioned about that earlier in the stream. I do think that this could be a trend continuation point where it will push down back on the downside. There isn't any candles or any single candle showing me that there is a reversal happening. But we are seeing some failed attempts to push through this level, through the 147 level. This level has held in the past. And so we had a attempt here to return back down, and then one here So this could be taken as a small divergence point here, um, and then the continuation back down. So although I do think this is a good area for a move down on the downside, there's not any really clear indication that this would be it, although the level up here, 147, is pretty strong. So yeah, I do think that if you're taking any positions, it should be on the short side. Don't be longing right now. That's just not, I just don't recommend it taking any longer positions unless the 1.05 level is broken. And when I say broken, I don't mean a candle actually breaks through that level. I mean a candle closes, the body of the candle closes above that level. That's when we could see more on the upside at that point. Until that time, I don't recommend taking any long positions. Okay. All right. So as you can see here, the test is going. I started with a $1,000 account. I recommend the EA to using the EA on a $1,000 account. And for those that want to check it out, what you do is in the description of this video, you'll see that there's a link to the EA. And you'll see that I've already sold one. Technically two copies of this, and it is pricey. It's $700, but it's because it's my personal EA. It's my best personal EA that I've ever created over the last 4 years. And I say the description, I post the stats, I post a video. I also say what you get with the EA, what I recommend, all that kind of stuff. Um, this is just to recoup some of my losses. This is temporary. I'm only selling this temporarily. I don't plan on selling it long term because it's my personal EA. Um, so, uh, and I don't want to advertise it on these streams very often. It'll be very rare. I'll talk about the performance of the EA, what it's doing, but I won't be typically showing links. I won't be pushing it too hard. These streams are to analyze the market and to help other traders find their way. Um, there is a possibility in the future that I may be taking on personal uh, students um, for trading. I'll show them how to become profitable, and I'll just charge for the hour, just for the time. I'll just charge for the time. I won't charge for tips or systems or anything like that. I'll just charge for the time that I spend with you on a one-on-one basis. Now, how I would do that would just be through Skype. So we do video chats through Skype. If you live in Maryland, I can also teach you one-on-one in person there. But I'll show you what I know, and I'll also show you how to counter trend trade and trend trade, and just basically what I do. And you also will get my EA for free uh, if I take on personal trading sessions. I want that to be a bonus to you and allow you to watch the EA and how it trades because in a way that's how I trade on my manual personal account as well. All right, let me see here. Let me see if there's any other questions regarding to the stream. If not, then I think that's going to be it for today, guys. Uh, Make sure and keep your eyes out on the USD. I still think that the USD is going to climb in value, um, and things are slow. The market's slow. Not a lot going on. And until next time, I probably will do a stream tomorrow to give you an update on my current positions on the pound Japanese yen. Hope you have a good trading day and see you tomorrow. Bye.